Let's answer this question here. It is taken from exam 2 from 2015. It's question 3, and it's actually the last question of the network section. So as we get towards the end of it, you're going to find that it's quite tricky. Now, it's question 21 of your EdRollo homework. So if you're struggling with your homework, hopefully this is helpful to you. It says 9 activities are needed to prepare a daily delivery of groceries from the factory to the towns. The duration in minutes, early starting time, and the immediate predecessors for these activities are shown in the table below. So here it is right here, all shown to us. All right, we keep on going now. There we go, sorry. So now it says, the directed network that shows these activities is shown below. So we've got this directed network here. Here it is. Then it says all of the 9 activities can be completed in a minimum start time of 26 minutes. Now that is extremely important because that is telling us that, it takes 26 minutes as a minimum completion time there, 26 minutes. Then we've got a whole bunch of questions. What's the earliest start time of activity D? What's the latest start time of activity D? What's the earliest start time of activity, given this, blah, 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 blah. Before I do anything, I probably just want to look at this for a second and figure out my critical path analysis. So let us do that. So remember, you always start at time 0, and then I'm going to do my forward scanning in green. I'm going to say that this is 5, this is 3, 5 plus 8 is 13, 3 plus 9 is going to be 12. So that means 13 is the bigger number there. So you circle it. Now you use this one going forward. 13 plus 2 is going to be 15. 13 plus 6 is going to be 19. 15 plus 5 will be 20. 19 plus something, I don't know. But now let's have a look here for a second. Here it says that this is 4 minutes. Well, it certainly can't be going from this one. I can't be going 20 plus 4 because that's 24 and I need 26. So what I need is some number here. Some number that I can add 4 to it and get 26 out. So hopefully you can recognize that this number has to be, drum roll, 22. This number has to be 22 here. And now, if I know that this number is 22, I can say, well, that's going to be my bigger number, so I can circle it. But I can also say, all right, 19 plus what will give me 22? 19 plus what will give me 22? That means that this question mark here is going to be 3, because 19 plus 3 is 22. Okay, now with all of that being said, let's now continue on. So we'll come here. And let's see if we can, we've got a backward scan. I've got a backward scan now, sorry. So that's now backward scan. So I've got 26 minus 4 is 22. 22 minus 5 will be 17. 22 minus 3 is going to be what? It's going to be 19. 19 minus 6 is going to be 13. And then I'm going to go 17 minus 2 is going to be 15. Circle your smaller number. 13 minus 8 is going to be 5. 13 minus 9 is going to be 4. 4 minus 3 is going to be 1. 5 minus 5 is going to be 0. Having now done that, I can now identify my critical path. So remember, it's when you have the same numbers coming in and out. So 0, 0, 5, 5, 13, 13, 19, 19, 22, 22, all the way to the end. So that is my critical path there. I've done my forward scanning. I've done my backward scanning. I've identified my critical path. Now it says, what is the earliest start time of activity D? Well, to answer this, what do? Well, you simply look at D here. Here's activity D. Your early starting time is going to be here. It's the green number. So it's going to be 3 minutes. We continue on. What is the latest starting time of activity D? We'll come back here to these numbers. It's going to be 4 because 4, the red numbers are your latest starting time. So we'll say it's 4 minutes. We keep on going. It says, given that the early start time of activity I is 22 minutes. So that is referring to this right here, this 22 minutes here. What is the duration of activity H? Well, we've already figured out the duration of activity H is 3 minutes. But do you note how they're actually getting us to answer this question just a little bit differently? They've given us this 22 here. So they've given us this 22. And now they're saying, all right, well, what is this going to be if you know this is 22? So in your head, what you would be doing is you'd be saying, well, I know that I'm starting at 19. I'm adding some number to it that I don't know. What is this number going to be if I have to get to 22? And this is when you would say, well, X has to be equal to 3 because 19 plus 3 is 22. We did it a bit of a different way. We did it working with this 26 and this 4. But either way, it works. So you didn't have to do it the way that we did it here. And VCAA kind of assumed that you were going to do it using this way here. Then it says, write down in order the activities of the critical path. Let's zoom out here. And let's read these off. So I'm going to go A, C, F, H, I. A, C, F, H, I. A, C, F, H, I. All right, let's pause here for a moment and let's go through our solutions that VCAA has kindly provided us. So let's look here and let's see how we did. So as you can see, the first one was 3 minutes, and that's what we got, 3 minutes. The next one was 4 minutes, and that's what we got, 4 minutes. It says common incorrect answers were 12 and 13 minutes. This was when it was asking us about the latest start time of activity D. Here's activity D. People must have been confused and looked at this vertex here, because here you got 12 and 13, right? So they were thinking, oh, it must be this. But remember, your earliest and latest start time for an activity is the one before it. So like 3, 4 is the one for D. So people got a little confused there. This was 3 minutes, this was 3 minutes, and this was ACFHI, ACFHI, we got it. So those are the first 4 questions of those. Hopefully you're successful. I'll see you in the next part.